everyone, and welcome to AEW Unrestricted, the official podcast of All Elite Wrestling. I am Aubrey Edwards, along with my co-host, Will Washington, and we here are presented by Upper Deck, which is this awesome company that does these great trading cards, including the AEW SP Game Use set, available now. And it's the first ever AEW release, packed with autographs, tech cards, real match use relics pulled straight from the ring, including championship gear, event banners, even a 1-up-1 fork from All In Texas. You remember the one that Hangman pulled out of his boot in that cute little social video before he stabbed Jon Moxley in the head. You can grab your box at local hobby shops. Hit upperdeck.com to find a store near you. I'm excited because I got sent a whole bunch of new decks while I was over in the UK the last time we recorded podcasts, and I came back and I was like, oh, look, I have so much mail. Thank you, Upper Deck. This is exciting.
Thank you, Upper Deck.
This is awesome. I don't know. I'm going to ASMR this. Let's see who I got. Let's see. I got Samoa Joe. I got Kyle Fletcher in a rare, not pink outfit. That's exciting. Dax Harwood. And this one's got like a little bit of gear on it. That's exciting. But we also got Dante Martin, who's one of our tag wrestlers. And speaking of tags at AEW, who do we got today, Will?
And we are joined by a duo that is part of one of the hottest trios in all of AEW. They are quite in demand, as it were. These two are, you could call them the Gates of Agony, you can call them GOA, but they are Bishop Kaun, Toa Liona. Thank you for being here on AEW Unrestricted.
Welcome back.
Hey, how's it going? Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us again, this time together.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's been quite some time since the last time you were on this show, but a lot has changed over that time period because, we've seen you guys go from, a part of the embassy to the Mogul Embassy to the Cage of Agony, now a part of the Demand, and it feels like, we were talking a little bit before the show, and it feels like nothing has fit better to me than seeing you guys with Ricochet. Let's start with you, Kaun. How has it felt these last couple of months, seeing the Demand kind of all come together?
I mean, you could say it feels right. It feels just natural. It feels pretty normal. It feels good. And the thing is, we're not acting. We're not trying. This is just naturally us. We got this aura. We got this bond, this camaraderie. And it's been great. It's been fantastic working with Ricochet. And like you said, we're just in demand right now. That's 2026. We're in demand.
Hell yeah. What about you, Toa?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to feel like we have an identity within a group. I feel like me and Kaun both never had opportunities to have our own identity in each of the groups that you just named, Will. This is the first time where Ricochet made it a point that the group itself is individuals together, all together for one focused goal, which is to stay in demand. Because when you're in demand, you can make demands. You know what I mean?
Hey.
So you got to keep that rolling,
I love it.
What I think I'm loving most about the group is that this is really the most personality we've gotten to see out of the two of you. And the most flash and the most, like, you guys, anybody who's gotten to know you guys knows that it's there. It's genuinely there. And but to see you guys finally get to show some flair, kind of get to show some flash, kind of get to show a little bit of who you guys are, and then do the wrestling thing and just turn it up. You guys have now been tagging together, what is this, 4 years?
I believe so. Going into the fourth year?
Going into the fourth year, April, right?
Yeah.
April will be 4 years.
Your tag team is starting kindergarten. Congrats.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, that's a team, right? Like, some teams don't even get 4 years when you look at like the history of tag teams, and you guys have gotten to do this for now 4 years. Kind of talk to me a little bit about the genuine feeling of chemistry at the moment, and how natural it's been.
Well, pretty much we both said this in our individual podcasts and the ones we've done together before. We both, iron sharpens iron. We both have the same goal. We both have the same drive. I think with that, we're able to mend well together and mold well together for what we want to do together in the future. Because it's not like one's pulling the other, or one's trying to motivate the other, or one's holding one down. It's we're all pushing together. And now that we're going into 4 years now, it's like no one knows our experiences more than each other. No one knows the struggles that we went through more than each other. I mean, there's everyone in the locker room can kind of see this or kind of see that, but going through, having to do the late Ring of Honor tapings to, main event Collision this past week, like we've had our highs and our lows, and the only ones that can really understand where we come from is just each other. So to have that moment to like, hey man, look how far we've come. And we still have farther to go, but it's like one of those things that motivate us that we have done this together.
Yeah. Love it. So how did the pairing of you two with Ricochet, how did that come together?
We honestly just forced his hand. We saw him cutting those promos that he was looking for a crew. And like we saw other tag teams go out there and have these matches, but then our tag match that we had against Jet Speed, he was out there in commentary. And we talked about it in the back. This is our opportunity for the taking, and nobody's taking that from us. And we went out there with the point to prove. Literally, as he was sitting at the table, we're like, "Hey, yep, we're your boys now." Kind of bullied him into it, but like, we're your boys now.
Yeah, we had no idea what the original plan was, but we saw the writing on the wall to where it's like, we're going to become undeniable to where like, man, this pair makes too much sense. And as Khan said, I saw his ass on commentary. I said, what's up, buddy? And grabbed his hand, grabbed his shoulders and stuff like that. So I'm just happy that he saw it as well, It'd be one thing if like we're trying and it just didn't feel right. But, like we've been saying, we just focus on being undeniable. So.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you guys about, speaking of kind of making yourselves undeniable, since the last time you guys were on the show, you guys got to participate in something, and I felt like this was a big deal at the time, but I really wanted to get you guys' words on Unrestricted about it. But I feel like about a year and a half into you guys being a tag team, you guys got to work World Tag League, and I feel like the way you guys came back from World Tag League, that was like, there was almost this new sense of confidence in you guys' chemistry as a team. And Toa, I want to start with you. What do you feel like World Tag League for you did for the Gates of Agony as a team in making you guys feel like, making you guys gel the way you guys have since?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with the confidence thing. Like, before we even left, when we found out we were part of the World Tag League for New Japan, the sense of pride we had, knowing that not too many people from AEW has gone to go to New Japan for a tour, it was like a moment of like, oh, wow, they do believe in us. And when we came back, we wanted to prove them right so much. And from what we've learned, wrestling 17 matches in like 20 some days, we were able to get that knowledge within that short period of time to then put it on AEW television. And, the proof's in the pudding after that. But we were really happy to have that opportunity, and the company and Tony himself to want us to go. It was like that whole time we believed in ourselves, but it was to a point where it's like, man, are we just hyping ourselves up? Are we really who we think we are? Because until we accomplish these goals, it's all hearsay, until you go lift that weight. Yeah, that's what you think you can do, So when Tony, gave us the opportunity, it was like, we were so pumped up,
Hell yeah.
Well, Khan, I wanted to ask you, again, 17 matches in 20 days. Mm-hmm. That is an experience in itself. How did you feel coming out of those 17 matches, as far as how much that meant for you as a performer and as a tag performer?
I kind of came back like wandering through a wall. I was so excited for that. And like, not only did we get Tony's approval, we got Gato's approval. We got everybody in the locker room in New Japan's approval and respect. And I don't think we would have got that last match with Tanahashi and Okada if they didn't respect the work that we put in while we were there. And I was telling Toe when we got there, I'm like, hey, this is 17 matches, but this is 17 promos off the cuff. This is our chance to literally get this New Japan rub, this stamp of approval from everybody. And we come back, like, it's just like this. We created this aura for ourselves. And like, I walk around with this confidence on my shoulders. Like, we've been had it, but I feel like we needed to do that to prove to everybody that we've been had this. Like, we are the same beast. We've evolved, or like we were beasts, and we've said that ever since we met each other. Like, we know that we're good. And now we just got this rub from both Gato and TK. Now it's like, okay, yeah, now they put their money where their mouth is. Like, we earned our respect. But like, I think we're still going through that to this day. I just told somebody the other day, we have our backs against the wall every match, and we're just coming out swinging. And that's why we have this aura that we have this confidence that we have, because we don't look lightly at these opportunities. Like, we take everything like it's, if we don't perform this match, we might not be here next week.
Exactly. And I feel like in wrestling, you have to be the one that is most confident in you. And then as other people start to figure it out, it's like, I've been here the whole time, man. Where have you been? Like, welcome to the party train. Like, we're all in on it now. This is an awesome conversation. We've got more coming up. We're going to talk about some recent feuds, some matches on TV here with Toa and Kaun coming up on AEW Unrestricted after the break. AEW Unrestricted. We got Aubrey, we got Will, we got Kaun, we got Toa. We are talking to the Gates of Agony, part of the Demand. They're teaming with Ricochet, and they are absolutely unstoppable. They're incredible to watch. They're incredible to work with, if I could be completely honest. It has been awesome seeing you guys grow since the first time we all worked together to where you are now. And it's just like, I'm so excited every time I have one of your guys' matches. I was a little sad I didn't get to be a part of one of your best feuds recently with the Hurt Syndicate, which I personally called the thirst trap feud, because everyone in that match was attractive. And I'm just like, how did this happen? Like, this is exactly where I want to be. Why am I not doing this? So I want to ask, and we'll start with Kaun, what made this rivalry sort of feel different from others you had been in up to that point?
The stakes, I think, even though we were just kind of fighting for our own mutual respect. And then I know personally for me, I told MVP, I was like, hey man, growing up, you're the first wrestler that I saw that I actually could like relate to. And Shelton Benjamin, I've known since I knew of him since the University of Minnesota. He kind of weirdly like reminds me of my father a little bit. You watch these guys when you're like 10, 11 years old, and now you're in the ring with them. And Bobby himself, like, it felt like we had to just raise our level to meet theirs. The physicality, the promo, and they were going to take us lightly, so we had to go punch them in the face. It just felt so... It felt like we just could not mess this up. We had to meet them where they stood, and like it was just bulls every single time. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, Toa, I wanted to ask you about specifically, you got to wrestle Bobby Lashley in London, Ontario. Tell me about that experience in that match, because I was blown away. I mean, like, you know, obviously Bobby is a legend in this business, and I think, you know, we have gotten to see kind of shades of singles work from you when you got to face Hangman back in what was that, January of 24. But you know, this was kind of the first time that we got to kind of see the beast against the beast, and I thought you guys tore the house down that night. What was that experience like for you?
Thank you. And almost kind of same thing concept, man. These guys, just the Hurt Syndicate in general, these are guys like we've both looked up to. And then for me, Bobby in particular, man, as soon as I started training to wrestle, he was one of my number one guys. You know, him, Umaga, like those are the two guys. I watched their feud and stuff. But Bobby, the way he moved, how athletic he was, and how strong and powerful he was, you know, to actually get to wrestle him, you know, was such an honor. And I so excited. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not backing down from this moment. I'd rather be over aggressive than under. And I just kind of wanted to prove it to him and myself as well. Like, this is the spot I deserve. And I made it a point to show out in that match. Because just like the Hangman match, no one expected anything out of those matches, those two singles matches I had. And me and Kaun, we rarely get any opportunities in general on TV. So anytime we do, just like he says, our back's against the wall and we're going to come out swinging. I'm just happy I was able to connect.
Hell yeah.
but again, you guys coming out swinging, you knocked it out of the park. Like it's you know, I kind of take your hat off for that one. Like that one, don't actually physically take your hat off, but
I need my hair redone.
I was like, oh my god, my weave's all messed up now. Hold on.
but no, genuinely, I remember, and I told you the next week, like I was just blown away by that match. It was, and it's not like I had any. I wasn't sure what my expectations were, but regardless of whatever they were, I came away with the fact that, like, again, you rose to such a level in that match that, like, regardless of any of Bobby Lashley's accolades or credentials or whatever you want to say, and again, the man is a legend in this business, been on TV 22 years. But the fact was, you looked on his level that night, and then on top of that, like there were moments where it looked like Bobby was struggling with the monster here a little bit, and I just thought, man, like for what you guys put into that match, again, just hats off to everybody.
Yeah,
but
no,
not
I
actually
appreciate
hats
it.
off.
Yeah, no, no, but like
I
Con
keep
said, and like
saying that,
everyone
but I'm the
said,
only person not wearing a hat on this
You're the
show
only
today,
one
so.
not with a hat on this call, Will.
Yes.
no, but just
Awesome.
to further go on what you just said, it's like everyone knows we have it, everyone sees we have it, and anytime we get an opportunity on TV, it's just we want to remind people that, you know, whether it was that match or the past Dynamite last week we had against Jack and the Young Bucks, man, like there's so much more that me and Connor are capable of that I'm afraid Tony and the audience don't even know. So what's
Not even
the
close.
best is still to come. We're still hungry. We're on our hunt for gold. Ricochet got his quest done, but GOA are still hunting for that gold. So we're still hungry. Whether it's tag belts, trio belts, individual belts for me and Khan, we're still training as if we don't have a contract, and that's why if you look at our matches, that's how we approach every single match. If you see us backstage, raging out, freaking out, we treat everything like it's all in,
Mhm.
and so that once we get to all in, we can have our own moment. So,
Hey, I like the tie in there. Good job. Good job. He understands the marketing. Gets the message. I like it. But yeah, I think that's an important thing because a lot of people, like, once they do get that contract, it's just like, okay, cool, you're there. But it's like, no, now you got to earn the next one. Right. And then you got to earn the one after that. And you need to make sure that the people don't question why you're under this contract. And I know that one of the things I see whenever I see your guys' face on graphics, win or lose, I know I'm going to be entertained, which ultimately this is like what the wrestling business is about, right? It's making sure that you leave a memorable impression for the fans so that when you're back again, people go, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome because your matches are hard hitting. They're exciting. There's like little bits of fun here and there. It's mostly all Ricochet because he's a doofus.
it's the best.
But you guys are scary and you move so fast, by the way. There's a couple times where I've almost been like just like completely just thrown out of the ring just because I'm like, I gotta get out of the way. One of those I want to talk about was back in Philly. You guys actually had an opportunity at the World Trios titles against the Ops back at the 2300 arena. And I want to talk about what it was like wrestling in that venue and just like standing in the middle of this like history place and like Philly and the crowd and their reputation. How did the energy affect you guys going into that match? Con, we'll start with you.
It was kind of surreal because I've wrestled there before, but I wrestled there during the pandemic when there was no crowd. So this is like the first time I remember wrestling there with the crowd, and the rest of the Ops, like Samoa Joe, Shibata, like Ops, you can feel the energy in there. It's like palpable. And it was cool to just have like moments with them. Like I think he had a moment with Joe, I had a moment with Shibata, just like hitting each other as hard as possible. And you slowly hear the people a little bit, and then they start coming up with you a little bit more. And you're like, ooh, as you're in the moment, you're like, I can feel this. And it's just like, I'm raging out my mind, just hitting as hard as I possibly can. But
right? I'm sitting there getting like the sweat in the moment, like someone slaps and then the sweat slides off the chest into me. And I'm like, I don't care. This is awesome.
It's so cool. And like so much history has happened there. It's just kind of surreal to be like, we've wrestled at all these cool venues. And like, you think about 20 years ago, what took place at those places, like, oh, I got to actually perform there. That's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Well, so that was another piece I've been wanting to ask about because, one of the things we've seen a lot recently is an evolution in you guys' style. Like Con, for example, I know, in the last couple of years, you've added a lot to your arsenal. The pedigree kind of came about just in the last couple of years. And so I wanted to just ask about kind of, going into kind of a lot of the changes we've seen presentationally for you guys. Starting with you, Con, how do you also manage to evolve the wrestling style along with it?
I think just seeing where the business is today, honestly. Like I was trained very old school. I was trained by people that are like, oh, do less is more. That's not always how it works here. And I have to sometimes remember, I think Toa has to remind me, he's like, bro, you're big too, like, but you can move. I think people always think of like, I'm built like Bobby or something, but I'm shorter than him. And I'm actually pretty damn strong. I can lift 2 people up at the same time. So it's just like trying these things out and then having the confidence to do them. But there's definitely, when I start going out there and the light just turns on, I just kind of start free flowing. I've been challenging myself to watch a lot more old, like 90s Japan wrestling. And like, I can do it. And who's going to tell me that? If they say no, I'm going to just hit them in the face and then we're going to get to it anyway. So and sometimes I'm just popping myself. I'm like, oh, I can do this. Yep, I can do it. Run up the top rope suplex. Yeah, I can do that. Why not try it out today?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Toa, your style's changed a little bit too. How has your style changed since you guys have been tagging for a while and then with the addition of Ricochet?
Just falling back on my natural gifts, like, because the big crazy wild Samoan, like standing in the middle of the ring throwing people, I've always had that, and I started trying to focus on doing more dynamic movements, trying to challenge myself, and with, like Khan said, with the style of today, I'm feeling like within the last couple of matches I'm starting to find where I can be AEW's big man and still have these exciting, dynamic matches. Like, still ain't nobody putting me on my ass, but I'm also moving so fast, doing this and that, catching people here and there, like, to where I can still make exciting, dynamic match while still being the big monster. So, and then the inclusion of Ricochet too, man, just watching his matches and stuff like that, I wouldn't lie to you, if every time we're on ringside watching him, I'm pissed. I'm pissed off. He's too good. It bothers me. I'm so competitive. It bothers me to my core. And I'm like, oh, I can't sell like that. My guy, don't do that. Like, I'm like, man, you're too good. It bothers me. So I'm like, I try to figure out things I could do to excel my own self. It's like, remind myself, it's only you and the guy in the mirror. And it's only you, and forget everyone else, But I would lie to you if, like, it doesn't motivate me, Then it's the same with me and Khan, like the iron sharpens iron. And Ricochet's in the mix. He's the greatest of all time. Come on. Like, how can it not push us? He's really good,
Like, you have this guy being like, I think I can do a triple Samoan. I'm like, yeah, you're strong as shit. You can definitely do that. And then he'll be like, I think you can do a running suplex down the ramp. I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just giving you the ideas.
Oh, God. I love it. I love how much you guys progress and have continued to progress, and I'm loving the demand, and I'm loving this conversation. And we've got more for this conversation. We've got one more segment here on AEW Unrestricted. Stay tuned. We'll be right back here. AEW Unrestricted. It's Will Washington, Aubrey Edwards, and we are here with 2/3 of the demand. It's Bishop Khan, it's Toa Liona, and Toa. I've known the both of you now for about a little over 3 years, and one of the things I've always felt is that, and I think the people even watching this podcast will probably come to this same conclusion, but there's so much charisma and personality out of both of you.
Oh my God.
But Toa, we never got to see that for a little bit, and it is. Obviously there was a decision made to make the change, to be more you, to be more of a personality. Kind of talk to us and the people about what went into the decision to finally to start talking more and to start being more of you and being more of a personality.
Well, coming into the business with my character, I feel like it was a really simple insert kind of person, the crazy, Samoan monster kind of style, and, off out of the ring, he don't talk. He's more, rage, crazed out kind of guy. And for me, I was able to really connect with that because there's moments of like my powerlifting career where I get in this moment where, like, I rage out. I'll do anything I can do to lift that weight for, that minute or whatever that time was. You couldn't talk to me. Even after the lift, I'm still freaking out. I'm raging out. So I was able to connect with that. And I always knew and wanted to evolve from that. I just knew that was going to be my starting point. And going into the group with the Mogul Embassy, I was like, this is going to be the opportunity. And then things didn't fall where I would have liked how it would have. So when we got to the Cage of Agony, it didn't feel right. I started talking more a little here and there, but to the flair, as you say, it would have felt more right in the Mogul Embassy than it would have in the Cage of Agony. So when we got put in the demand, or we're starting to, getting to that moment that we're going to get to that point, I said, no better time than now, you know? So I'm excited to kind of showcase my charisma, my character, like how well I can speak and what I can do. And, you know, along with Kaun as well, like we're both super excited to be in the demand, to have the opportunities we've had thus far.
Hell yeah. And kind of on that note, Kaun, like how do you think that you've changed as a performer since joining the demand?
Maybe just, I wouldn't even say confidence, just having more opportunities to speak. I feel like back in the Mogul episode, that didn't really happen. Cage of Agony, which is crazy that we were like named that, because that lasted all of, I don't know, a few months, if that, but we never called ourselves.
It was long enough to get it was long enough to get a trading card.
I was
Look at that. Look at that.
I mean, we should have got figures too while we're at it. We look like, look like great pro wrestlers right there.
Right?
I mean, look, all three of you, but like in particular, Kaun, like look like action figures, and that is like the one thing that like gets told to me all the time by non-wrestling fans, especially when they see Kaun for the first time. They're like, "That guy is a freaking action figure! Like, there's no way."
I know, I should be on TV every single time.
You want to get that female demographic? I'll tell you how.
I'd be going trending on Twitter, honestly. But whenever we have, I think every week I try to practice just writing promos down. I think with Ricochet too, he gives us that opportunity to be like, hey, this is like, we have this opportunity to speak. Like, what do you guys want to say? And I try to speak very differently. Someone would say I'm more ominous and prophetic, which I like to try to be different in the way that I speak, because we are characters. I don't want to be relatable. Or not, if I do want to be relatable, it's the people that like the stuff that I kind of like. I like this kind of weird stuff. And talking like that, not being a trope. But whenever we get those opportunities, we just try to like think about what we want to say it in a different way. And then, I don't know, all of our promos seem to do well when we get to talk. When we always ask for promo opportunities. It's funny because people are like, oh, you guys can talk? Yes, we can speak. We speak very well. Like, I don't know
We're
what
not
y'all
just beautiful faces, guys.
Yeah, we can say some nice things, you know, but I think the more the opportunities we get, the more that we get to evolve, and the more people get to see it. Because if they're not tuned in every week, you're not seeing that. If you're not on Twitter every day, you're not seeing it. So this is the continuation of being on the show every single time. Like, oh, so they said this last time. Oh, so they do talk well. They speak like this, and it's just the constant of just being on there every time.
Well, I guess that led me in an interesting direction. I just thought about. So about a year ago, before the demand was a thing, and actually this is fitting with the posters Kaun has in the background. Before the demand was a thing, we got to learn that, you know, we got to see toward the end of 2024 that Ricochet had a bit of an aggressive side to him as far as his personality was concerned in terms of getting under your skin. But then at the beginning of 25, we really saw that he actually had a real dark side to him. And being aligned with Ricochet now, and you guys like are joined at the hip. Anybody who ever sees you guys backstage, like it's for real. You got the demand is a real thing. You guys are always together. So my question then is, I'll start with you, Kaun. What does your dark side look like?
That's a great question. I don't know. I saw Ricochet with the scissors, with blood all over her shirt. I was in the back just like, that's like, that's what I like. That's what I like to see. I'm a fan of it. So more brutality and aggressiveness. People want to bleed a little bit. I'm into it. That's my dark side.
Okay, like I said, I saw the Child's Play posters behind you, and that's where I was like, okay, there's a dark side here. There is there's a little bit of a killer in there, you know, because with Ricochet it was very psycho, right? But like, so that's more the question is, I guess, well, what direction does it fall in for Kaun?
Wait, what do you mean? Which direction does it fall in?
As far as like, you know, like I said, with Ricochet he was more like a Norman Bates type. Where would you say that you fall?
I would say like Candyman, American Psycho.
Ooh.
I'd probably say Candyman. That ominous presence that you don't want to believe in it, but you have to. I'm going to make you believe.
Ooh. Ooh. As someone who's not a horror fan, I'm just like, I'm down. Toa, what about you?
That's what our thing. They didn't want to believe in us.
Yeah.
We're gonna make you believe.
Now, for me, I would the people that come to my mind is Jason. I'm a lot faster than you think. I'm very durable. I'm the tank, and I'm gonna get you. You run all you want.
Durable.
My big ass is coming, and I'm gonna get you. You know, that's and I'm a mama's boy too, so I think it all pans out.
Yo. I like that. I like that.
That is a great answer. I
don't even know where to go from there.
So,
oh my God.
I'm going to talk about the fact that something that Toa said earlier. You were talking about the fact that, you guys are a trio. We've seen Ricochet win singles gold. You guys are a tag team, and I think everybody at this point wants to see you guys win tag team gold. But at the same time, you guys have so much to offer as singles performers as well. Do you guys see a point where the demand is not just a trio of a singles performer and a tag team, but 3 successful singles performers as well? I'll start with you, Kaun.
Definitely. That's been our MO since we met each other. Like, yes, we are this tag team, we are the GOA, but we want to have our own individual careers, our own individual aspirations. Like, we can be a trio, but we all are each our own individual superstar. That's how we've always looked at it.
Yeah, I think even with our entrance, we have our own identity. We all have the Admiral jacket, but we have our own colors and we have our own, emblem in our own back, and when we saw the demand being created and we saw opportunity, and Ricochet was so great to where it's like, no, you're going to be my muscle and this is all it is, fall in line. No, he gave us the platform. We spoke on what we would like to be presented like, and he was all for it. Like, we want trio belts as a group together. We want tag belts, But at the end of the day, I think we all rising up to where, like, individually, if all of us have single belts, man, it can't be undeniable more than each member holding an individual belt. Nothing says you're in demand like that. So,
hey. And I think that's my favorite part, is that each of you on your own is a standout performer. You're all incredible in the ring. You're charismatic. You're incredible to watch. But then together, you're even stronger. So I feel like that at its core is what makes a great faction and a great team, is just that you have all of these 3 individual people, but then when you combine them together, they just make each other that much better. And I'm so happy we got to speak to both of you today at the same time. It was so exciting.
Hey, we're just so cool. We're just so naturally so cool.
So naturally suave, so awesome. No big deal.
Very humble,
Yep.
Very humble. Very humble.
I love it. Thank you guys for being here on AEW Unrestricted. And of course, AEW Unrestricted is sponsored by our good friends at Upper Deck. And you can collect your Upper Deck cards. Check out the AEW SP Game U set, available now. And it is the first ever AEW release pack with autographs, tech cards, and real match-used relics pulled straight from the ring, including championship gear, event banners, and even a one-of-one fork from All In Texas. Grab your box at local hobby shops. Look, I got a box right here. Grab your box.
I got a whole lot of boxes.
Yeah, I got a few of them, but this was the first one I had at reach. But grab your box at local hobby shops and hit upperdeck.com to find a store near you. And you can listen to and follow this podcast, AEW Unrestricted, at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And you can check out video episodes on our YouTube channel, and you can see all of us, except for me, wearing hats. And you can find our YouTube channel at AEW Unrestricted. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if you're not an AEW insider, sign up now. Get early access to ticket pre-sales, special merchandise offers, and more straight to your inbox. Sign up today at AEWTix.com. And don't forget AEW Dynamite on TBS Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and streaming on HBO Max. AEW Collision is live every Saturday at 8 p.m. on TNT and streaming on HBO Max. ROH streams every Thursday on Honor Club. I'm Will Washington. She is Aubrey Edwards for The Gates of Agony. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Peace.